Yo, what's going on? My name is Saul, and welcome to another video. Today, it's not Angry Saul, but it's Sad Saul. Today is not a happy video, and I will explain why after today's sponsor, Rant! Okay, no. Is that joke even funny anymore? Anyways, I don't know how many people are actually gonna watch this video. It doesn't really matter. I wanted to make the video regardless. Yes, and I know today is not a Skyrim video. I never made the decision to become a Skyrim channel, but I have been posting a crap load of Skyrim content lately. Now, I don't know if anyone is still watching at this point, but you've seen the title, you've seen the thumbnail, you know what it's about. XDefiant, my new favorite first-person arcade shooter, is due to shut down. It's leaving. It's over. I guess it wasn't meant to be. And yes, I know I'm a few days late to the party when it comes to covering this information, but I don't have an audience, so it doesn't really matter. On December the 3rd, I believe, the lead guy, Mark Rubin, posted a tweet or X or whatever you want to call it, basically announcing that they're putting the game to sunset mode and that it's going to be shut down on June something, in the month of June in 2025. So technically the game is still going to be up for another 6+ months. But in that post he mentioned that they disabled new player registrations and they disabled downloads for the game. So even if you wanted to give the game a try before it officially got shut down, you can't unless you already had the game installed. If you played the game before and then uninstalled it, you can't now reinstall it to play the game before it gets shut down because they disabled downloads. It's sad. The gameplay in today's video is just some random footage that I had lying around in my hard drive. I did plan to eventually make another compilation like this one. Please do check that out, by the way. But I suppose that's just not something I'm gonna do anymore. I think I would have decided to do a live commentary whilst playing the game, but with the news of the game shutting down, I can't even launch the game, dude. I have no desire to launch it anymore. At this point, anytime I launch or think about it, it's just a sad reminder. Honestly speaking, I would prefer if they just shut the game down right now. I'm just really not in the mood to watch this game wither into nothingness for the next 6 months. Anyways, let's get back to the topic. I have consistently hoped and prayed and had just blind faith, honestly, that this game would just survive, it would persist. And honestly, I was hoping that Season 3 would be the resurgence of players that this game needed to keep going. Season 4 as well, judging by the rumors. But unfortunately, life sucks, and we can't have nice things. Ubisoft decided to pull the plug. It was too early, man. It was too early. This game had unbelievable amount of potential. This commentary is gonna be all over the place. Fair warning. I don't have a script. I didn't take any notes. I'm just doing this from the top of my head. Just gonna say my opinions and what I think and blah blah. This game brought back an old school style of arcade shooters that we haven't seen in a very long time. Akin to the golden age of Call of Duty, like Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 1, which by the way is my top favorite Call of Duty game in general. XDefiant gave feelings of those games, at least for me. I've genuinely not been as excited about a shooter as I have with this game in a very long time. Sure, I've played recent Call of Duties, but they're just not it, man. Playing them is just being jaded all the time. It's not enjoyable. And that's not to say while I was playing XDefiant that I wasn't getting angry. Of course I was getting angry. I named my channel Angry Saul for a reason. When it comes to gaming and especially competitive gaming, I get really frustrated, really angry. Just a lot of passion burning, you know? But the way Call of Duty has made me angry recently is just a different kind of anger. It isn't a reactionary thing. It was a oh, I know this game is f***ing me over kind of thing. And that's what got me angry about it. Alright, I'm getting too far off topic, I think. I just want to list out a few of the things that this game really stood for. In a day and age of gaming where we're constantly being thrown just awful business practices, anti-consumer nonsense, manipulative matchmaking systems where the system is so good that your dopamine bursts are basically handed to you when the algorithm says that you can have them. It's so scarily accurate how good the matchmaking system in Call of Duty is at what it does, or what it's meant to do. XDefiant came along and just said, nah, we're gonna have an organic matchmaking system where ping is king, and it's not attempting to hold your hand or guide you to a very specific experience. Just the way it was meant to be, just the way it used to be. And someone is gonna say, actually Call of Duty had skill-based matchmaking since the very early days of Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 2. Shut the fuck up. It's not the same. It literally is not the same. You can't tell me that Black Ops 2 matchmaking is the same as Modern Warfare 2 2022 is, or Jesus, I'm far behind. Black Ops 6. Modern Warfare 2 2022 was the last Call of Duty that I played, by the way. I'm not informed enough, I'm not intelligent enough to tell you exactly what it is that is different, but you don't need to be informed to know that it's not the same. Not even close. I have followed this game, that being XDefiant, since some of its earliest betas, and every step of the way the developers communicated with us. Honest communication. You don't see that a lot these days. They kept us in the loop as much as they could. They told us how things are gonna change, when to expect change, and when they messed up, they didn't hide it. They openly acknowledged their mistakes and they would fix it. The example that I can think of is when they changed the weapon XP, where they changed it to make it double as long of a grind, and people hated it. They told the developers, and the developers were like, yeah, we f***ed up. We're gonna make this better. And they did. So yeah, a lot of development teams can learn a thing or two about how the XDefiant team communicated with us. No lying, owning up to your mistakes, no gaslighting, like a certain Call of Duty development team with their, you think you know what you want, but you don't actually know what you want. We know what you want. Play our game. And shut the fuck up. And another thing, this game was so pro-consumer that I think that was part of its downfall. First of all, it was free to play, so you didn't have to spend a dime to experience this gem. Now, the words free to play probably light up a bunch of red flags from a lot of individuals. And I understand why. A lot of free to play games are just not, they're just not good. They're so anti-consumer, just nickel and diming you everywhere. But XDefiant was different. They dared to go into the realm of pro-consumer free-to-play experience. And honestly, that was probably part of its downfall, let's be honest here. First of all, there wasn't anything in the shop that you absolutely needed. And I'm not talking cosmetically. Like, I know a lot of games that are free to play will have this certain thing that you absolutely need to buy. Although for this genre of game, I couldn't think of anything that they could add like that. It was all purely cosmetics. I think that would have been fine if the cosmetics themselves were just not so basic. The team in charge of the cosmetics were just not doing the greatest they could have done. Absolutely no one was buying those very basic looking cosmetics, and not to mention they were slightly overpriced, especially for what they looked like. For me personally, the only thing I ever bought was the first preseason battle pass, and from there on the battle passes pay for themselves. So I've only spent $10 on this game. Had I been in a financially better spot and they released better bundles, better looking crap in the store, I would have loved to support this game more, but I just couldn't justify spending money on any of the items in the store. It wasn't until recently that the items have been improving, but I guess it's too little too late. The point is, I was never felt nickeled and dime at every turn. I was never enticed to spend on this game, except for the battle pass. So pro-consumer tactics, not nickel and diming you at every turn, open and honest communication, and an organic matchmaking system. Even now, as they're shutting down, they're giving out full refunds for, I think if you bought the Founders Edition, you're getting a full refund for that. And I also think if you bought anything in the last 30 days, you're also getting a full refund. I don't think we deserve this development team. A lot of people keep treating them like shit. Like, I think Mark Rubin slowed down on the communication a little bit because people were talking that much shit. They were like, you always keep talking, but you're not working on the game. I swear, man, you can't make anyone happy. All right, well, I think that's enough of that. Let me get onto why this game probably failed. Like I've already basically mentioned before, the store items were not it. They were not worth spending your money on. Thus, people weren't spending money. I mean, a good, fun gameplay can only get you so far. At the end of the day, business is business and they have to make money. And unfortunately, I just don't think that they were doing what they could to make money. That's what I'm saying. I think they were too pro-consumer, that it actually bit them in the ass. Too pro-consumer combined with mediocre store bundles. Yeah, it's kind of clear to understand why they couldn't pay the bills, you know, so to speak. Other than that, who of us can really say what was the real reason why this game failed? The only people that know that are probably Ubisoft and Mark Rubin. The rest of us, we just have to speculate, because while we can say things that make sense, we'll never know the truth. At least I don't think so. Some people are going to say that the netcode was the reason that this game failed. Well, yes, I agree. The netcode when the game launched was not the greatest. Constantly getting shot around corners and just some other questionable netcode related things that would happen in game. Some people to this day will say that the netcode has never improved. If you actually played the game, you wouldn't be saying that. They definitely improved on the netcode. Yeah, it's still not perfect right now, but it is 100% improved compared to when the game launched. If you were there at launch and you still played the game today, you would know. Now, I'm aware, I understand that everyone's experience is going to be different. I, for example, live on the East Coast of the US. I'm obviously not going to have any connection issues. I'm just saying that in my experience, the netcode is improved, and matter of fact, for the majority of the time that I've played this game, the netcode was mostly a non-issue. Yeah, I could tell when the netcode f***ed me over, but it wasn't something that was just constantly lingering. I don't think so. And whatever, my experience is my experience, and I'm never going to be able to speak for anyone else. Somebody genuinely probably stopped playing because of the netcode. It was probably that bad for them. Who's to say? Now let's get on to the no skill-based matchmaking crap. Somebody out there, no, not somebody, a lot of people out there, a lot of morons, quite frankly, will tell you that no skill-based matchmaking was the reason why this game died. Are you stupid? Like, I'm sorry, but no, I'm not sorry. It's crazy, man. Call of Duty actually gaslighted so many people that they are now convinced that skill-based matchmaking, or EOMM, I know the difference, shut the hell up if anyone was gonna comment that. They're now convinced that that's actually good for the game. No, dude, it's not. These gamers these days, they just want everything easy. There is a large portion of players that have been playing Call of Duty recently, Modern Warfare 2019 and up, and those players have been conditioned. They're so used to having their hands held. Suddenly, they think they're better than they actually are. But those players, they're not playing the same game that an actual good player is. They don't understand it like they do. I'm not gonna say me because I'm not a good player, quote unquote. I'd say I'm probably above average at most. I mean, you can see it from the gameplay. I make a lot of mistakes. Anyways, these bad players that are convinced that they're actually good at the game thanks to the EOMM, they hop onto XDefiant and then realize, oh I'm actually dog shit at this game. So many fragile egos have been destroyed playing this game because they realized, damn, I'm actually not that good. The one thing in life that I thought I was good at, I'm actually not that good at. And so yeah, I do believe that a portion of players would probably have put this game down once they realize that. If you're a good player, you're going to succeed in this game. If you're a bad player, well, you're not going to succeed. But look at it from this way. There's room for improvement if you want to spend the time to improve. I'm not absent from this at all. I also got onto XDefiant after playing recent CODs, and I was like, damn, I'm actually not as good as I thought I was. I'm not terrible, mind you, but I kept playing the game, and honestly, I've seen improvements over my duration of playing the game, because the more you improve, the more it's reflected on the scoreboard. That's what an organic matchmaking system does. You can actually see where you stand within the lobby. But whatever, some people are going to have their theories, and some people are going to be convinced that skill-based matchmaking and EOMM is necessary. And I think those people are morons. I'm sorry, but that's how I feel. Alright, just 2 more quick points, I promise. Because I realize this video is going on way longer than I intended. The fact that this game was never released on Steam is just the most asinine, dumb shit. Nobody wants to use your stupid Ubisoft Connect, whatever it's called, app. I don't know what their persistence on just gatekeeping their games to their shitty launcher. But hey, whatever. That's what happened, and we can't say that's the reason why XDefiant is dead, but it certainly didn't help. And finally, Ubisoft, whatever you want to call them, they are definitely the biggest culprit for XDefiant's failure. First of all, just the name Ubisoft, it just, nobody likes the name anymore. It has such an awful stain on its name. I don't know why Ubisoft is so adamant on putting the branding a Ubisoft original, as if that's not going to push away a bunch of people. There is a large majority of people that will just not touch a Ubisoft game ever again, because Ubisoft in their other games have proven time and time again that they're just not for the consumer anymore. They create dog shit games and they overcharge dog shit prices for their dog shit microtransactions. Such a dog shit company. So the fact that Ubisoft is under some terrible financial troubles right now, it definitely didn't bode well for XDefiant. And I knew when I saw the news about Ubisoft's financial troubles lately that XDefiant's days were numbered. I mean, the company is in such shit that something had to give, and they looked at XDefiant, and that was chosen. It had to give. It had to go. It sucks, man. This whole situation sucks. We lost a great game. A bunch of people are losing their jobs. Nobody wins. Even the f***ing haters that have been begging and praying for XDefiant's doom, they didn't win. Nobody won in this situation. There was a Twitter, or an X, a post I saw online. I don't think I'm gonna be able to find it, so you'll just have to take my word. But it said something along the lines of, XDefiant's failure is going to be a constant reminder for anyone who has any thoughts about competing with Call of Duty. Don't even try, you're going to fail. And unfortunately, I think that's true. When it comes to the 6v6 arcade shooter multiplayer experience, Call of Duty is number 1. It runs a monopoly on that shit. The only competition it had was XDefiant, and now that's gone. After that, it's just indie games that nobody plays. And before you mention a whole bunch of f***ing shooters that have nothing to do with 6v6 arcade experiences, Halo, dead. Counter-Strike, completely different. Overwatch, completely different. Rainbow Six Siege, which is also a Ubisoft title, completely different. The only reason I keep mentioning Call of Duty in this video is because XDefiant is the most closely related thing to Call of Duty in terms of the gameplay. Like I said, the only other games that are like Call of Duty are indie games that nobody plays. Iron Sight is one that I can think of on the top of my head. I almost forgot to mention Ubisoft's utter lack of advertisement. XDefiant literally only got popular off word of mouth because the advertisement for this game was just non-existent. And that's Ubisoft's doing. Such a shit show mishandling of what's honestly Ubisoft's only gem that they've released in recent history. Alright, just one more thing. I wanted to thank Mark Rubin and his team for providing us with such a fun game. A fun and ethical game at that. Truly, for any of the developers that might have lost their jobs due to this whole thing, I hope you get back on your feet and get out there and create great things again. Alright, I don't know if I said everything I wanted to say, but honestly, I think I should just end the video now before I keep going and the video gets longer. If you watched till the end, thank you so much for your time. I will post another Skyrim video in the next couple days, if not tomorrow, for anyone that gives a damn. If you want to see that, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. And like the video, please, or dislike it. If you don't like me, that's fine too. I'm gonna bid you all farewell, and you all have a nice one.